we're back at map number 2 between forZe and Espionage, this opening best of 3. And forZe came in swinging with a dominant 13-3 victory over Espionage on their map pick of Nuke, getting 13 rounds in a row, Brandon, to take that map.
Yeah, and the scary thing, I think forZe are actually better on the T side of Inferno when I watched them play pretty recently, and just kind of times past. I feel like they're very good at kind of setting the pace, and the fact that they're going to be filled with confidence going into this Espionage, they need to just kind of reset. They're very good at doing that mentally, this team. So I'm not worried yet for them. However, the fact that they've only played this a handful of times and it's spread out over the last sort of 3 months is a little bit worrying. Hopefully they've been working on something, they've been cooking up in the server, and they're ready to go. 4 players leaning A early with potentially a double apartments push.
Oh yeah, it looks like it. Shelfie is going to be hanging out around here. There are a lot of CTs making their home here. He's going to jiggle the angle, gets the player on the left.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
crazy. And he gets away with just a bit of a damage to his shoulder. Now his team's going to hit on to B. Iceberg cannot fight this. Actually decides to hold onto his smoke. He was jiggling the corner so he could drop it in case there was nothing behind it, but forZe are ready to pounce.
I actually really like the fact he doesn't just drop the smoke, because now they've got it for the retake, and there's also a kit in play. Take a look at Shelfie's position as well. He's locked off all of Banana, which means the entirety of forZe can be forward-facing.
It's near over the top. Smoke is going to fade. There is that kit in play. The high angle dealt with by MistR. Cabbi gets one too. Iceberg pushed down, but Cabbi is finding kills. And Shelfie and Seltup now able to put it back into the 2-on-2. Remember, there is a kit, and Lucky is just sticking that defuse. The smoke giving cover. They don't know what kit's in play, and Cabbi provides the cover. A fantastic pistol from Cabbi as he collects 4.
And he's the guy you want to be stepping up here for Espionage. He was the guy that had an incredible map when these two teams met in the open qualifier. Was incredibly quiet on Nuke. Kicks Inferno off, in a dominant manner. Bomb down for forZe, so you can push this buy. You can get the Galils, you can get the Mac 10 for Galils. And Gokushima actually just goes Tech 9 to get the utility for his team. It's still a very strong buy here for the T side.
Yet. Not willing to stick around in case there's follow-up utility behind that Molotov, but in fact there wasn't, so just gets a little scorch for his troubles. Iceberg wants to fight. That mid Inferno banana smoke. Not watch Mahoney's video on the smoke development, or the banana meta development. It's one of the best CS videos I've watched in some time. Very interesting how that map has changed and how that part of the map has changed and continues to evolve. I imagine will still further with the change to smokes most recently. For now, forZe have managed to establish themselves some top mid control, and they've also kind of got banana, so they've done well getting control with very little effort.
Yeah, there's also an adjustment that's already been made in CS2. We'll talk about it in a second, because smokes raining over. That's going to land towards Library. That's going to completely block Lucky's vision, but Cabbi, he's here in Moto, but isolated. Good nade as well on towards Lucky. He can't get further involved in the site. And now forZe, they're looking to split onto A.
Cool double long setup there with Cabbi in the cubby. Lucky falls, and now it's just Quez in the smoke in pit, and, well, he's not going to be able to do too much. Flash forward doesn't actually go past the barrels. He didn't swing off it anyway. Second smoke has a slight gap, and Iceberg wanted to work with it. Wanted to support Quez, but there's no helping Quez. He's just run down. Espionage don't get any look into this defense.
I actually really like that as well from forZe. They don't panic, that they know that the player in Quez is just tucked in towards pit. He's behind a smoke. Like, realistically, what can he do? Not a whole lot. There's one player just watching it. They take complete control of the bomb site. They set themselves in good afterplant positions, and they aren't completely distracted by the player in pit. It doesn't matter all that much. We'll wait for the supports to come in for him, and then we'll deal with him later. So it's good man management from forZe.
Yeah, and just the way the smoke plumed as well in pit, there was no way to poke around it other than on that one side, on the right-hand side. So there's that one player watching to see if Quez pokes out from the side of the smoke and feels confident revealing after that flash doesn't quite go how he wants. so I never have to stress about his position. forZe immediately bounce back. Espionage are going to force around the Galil. It makes sense. Single stage loss. If you lose this one, though, that's where things can start to spiral.
There's that smoke I was actually kind of alluding to without bringing it up in the previous point. Thrown from spawn. It doesn't actually get used all that much in recent Inferno times because you can beat it quite easily and it's just better to have double mollies in the narrow choke point to near. Getting aggressive. That invites Iceberg in. Does a lot of damage onto Gokushima. But that's not going to upset forZe and move them away from Banana. They remain reserved and they remain vigilant in this area of the map. They want to fight it.
Yeah, I like that decision from Iceberg to sort of brazenly spam the smoke. He's the only defender at B, and you think that if he's getting aggressive and spamming the smoke, fighting forward, that perhaps there's extra defenders here. Quest finds that lurk onto A. You're going to start to get some movement. The smoke drops forward. Iceberg wants to fight ahead of it, and that might be a fatal mistake. That's the open pathway into B. Cabbi is on a very quick flank. Fukushima's low and Islam is spotted. Bit of damage done, but the Flames are going to keep Cabbi at bay.
There is a kit on this, and MistR has found another kill. 4 on 3. Sure, Quez is low, but it doesn't matter. He's only on a pistol. You need to get the rifles active. So they're going to double up. They're going to go in towards Church. Lucky will find one, but can't translate onto the rifle, and it's just to near farming them with the SMG. It's a lot of money earned, and it's a lot of real estate gained for forZe. 1 versus 2. There is a kit, but it feels incredibly difficult. Cabbi will get out of there with his life. 1 kill since that pistol round, and forZe double down, and they get 2 rounds in a row.
That was just not a good retake. You know that you've got Cabbi with the Galil in towards Banana. Yes, he's kept at bay for a little bit by the Flames, but they just go 1-to-1 into the choke point over towards Coffins at Church, and they just can't get in. They just give up their lives one after another. At least if you're going to do that, have some good trade spacing so that you can actually fight through there. But honestly, the play there was to be a bit more patient. Allow Cabbi to come and support so you've got this 2-pronged assault onto the site, particularly because they had the man advantage.
I think
it's 4 and 3.
I think it's where MistR gets the kill over the top of the smoke. And you know Cabbi's applying pressure at Banana. I feel like Espionage were really hoping that forZe would send a second player over there to help out Gokushima. So I can understand what they're trying to do, but you're right. It felt very isolated. It felt very separate. Boost over the top, trying to get the Soul Galil involved. Doesn't quite pan out that way. Iceberg's still willing to fight, but gets a nade in exchange. And actually, his life will perish. Resalt's got complete control of the apartments as well. All hinges on timing here, but as long as compromised, that will invite the short players to come in. And it's a complete cleanup. A very well-handled round from the T side.
And no issues there against the pistols. Galil dropped and the threat removed. Espionage will finally get their rifle round, as they had to struggle against the 4 spies, or bringing the 4 spy against, forZe's win on the second round. Iceberg is still going to go wanting. He's been struggling a little bit over towards B, but it feels like Espionage are kind of leaving a lot on his shoulders while heavily prioritizing A early. We'll see if that continues into the gun rounds, as they do go for a 3-2 setup early on.
Deeper smoke now being thrown. Try to keep these players contained in Banana itself. Layering the utility behind it. Tanir is a whisker away from death. And another molly is going to force Celta out. So that means Tanir is completely isolated. Flashbangs round the corner. And Iceberg will profit. And MistR was anti-flash the whole time. It hasn't been involved, and that means that potentially hasn't been seen.
Got very scary for MistR, though. The scaling from Tanir was great. It was about to swing and get that headshot, but Iceberg perfectly times his swing from the corner to save him. Is Espionage a man advantage? They found themselves in this position a couple of times on Nuke, but weren't quite able to convert. See what forZe's response is. So they're going to be trying Banana again, where they have been able to find a lot of success in getting in. And this setup from Iceberg, where he's playing back towards CT, it's going to give some space, but he still has a smoke. He can drop this. I reckon he's going to wait till about 42. The smoke's lasting as long as they do. forZe are going to have to do this at the last second.
Espionage needs to be proactive on A, though. Because, look, the utility's coming in. In fact, that just completely gives up the game. Rotations now need to come forward because forZe are looking to burst in. MistR, good angle and a good find. Iceberg as well through the smoke. He will get two, and that's perfect. I thought the defense was going to be a little bit tightly pressed there. Instead, it's not. And a good supportive utility as well from the CT players. Really good defense, yeah.
I think if forZe had played that a bit more traditionally and waited that extra, I think, 5 seconds for that smoke to fade and then pounced with 15 seconds left, and they had more open fights, then maybe it would have been an issue. The Espionage rotated so late, but I think forZe were banking of Espionage having already rotated because it's so last second. You've already thrown your execute utility. You've made it clear you're going to be. So they felt that they can catch a timing by going ahead of the smoke while it's still there, bursting through with flashbangs, but didn't quite work out as it was great defensive lines from Espionage.
I'd like to see Espionage still be a little bit more proactive, though, on both sides of the map, because utility was drained so heavily in Banana, and then they still had no information because of how passive they were playing on A. Speaking of utility, it goes both ways. Iceberg, this time getting the better of these engagements in Banana. He picks up the opening kill and concedes the space.
Again, Espionage have found the opener. Just boosts it up with low HP. Usually the cross smoke that's met out, but they're just throwing the regular one. Not committing though. The fight is over towards A with the bomb, and it's just a bit of a fake out, but they have all the information that it's not B.
Double pit as well. This is a very strong setup for Espionage. It also got lucky, burrowed into towards the bomb site. Contact's going to be taken from these pit players. A good incendiary in towards short as well. forZe, they're trying to get in, but there's lucky. He strikes. You have dealt with Cabbi, but are you ready for any more? Potentially not. Gokushima. A difficult engagement to try and wriggle his way around. This Espionage will do it. They will level things up. There's still a buy potentially in the locker here for forZe, although you imagine they play it a little bit more safe. They go for the upgraded pistols instead. They keep the money and the finances healthy so that Tanir could drop Gokushima an AWP. 30 seconds to think about it.
It's a bit more of what we were expecting from Espionage on their CT sides, and I'm really happy we get to see Lucky with the AWP. This is something that we didn't get to see once during Nuke. We were waiting for it because Nuke is such a vital map to have your AWP showing their presence. So great to see him able to get it out early on Inferno, and I'm really interested to see how mobile and active he can be, because I think that's key on Inferno more than almost any other map.
Yeah, needs to take a page out of forZe's book when it comes to being dynamic on this CT side. But to be fair, at the moment, on B, don't need to change all that much because the utility has really been keeping forZe stifled over that area of the map, and it feels like they have to throw safer smokes, such as that CT one that doesn't really cover the boost. Second mid, that's been spotted immediately by Quez. That might activate the Banana players. Instead, yet again, it's this recycling of utility. It's the spam through the smoke. But this time, it's taking the real estate. MistR knows there is no one here in Banana.
Smoke dropped. I can rotate on over and support on towards A. We can have 4 players over here. Utility basically to lock out Banana indefinitely.
Update in the other game as well. Guild Eagles versus Ruby. That one is 18-18 map 1. 19-19, I've just been told, which is pretty wild. Lucky on this angle. Flashbang, it's good. He has to fall away behind the smoke, but that gives space for forZe to work with. It looks like they're trying to split long here. Try and get up close. MistR, this time it was in Cabbi's corner. Gets overwhelmed by Celta, and now jumping through arches as well. They're through. Sure, the bombs drop, but you got to get past the Tech 9. Lucky's hitting everything. This is why we wanted him on the AWP. And now Iceberg, still in a tricky position, being pinched from 3 different angles. There's still a way to get this bomb down here. Needs to strike, and the flashbang, it's not good enough. forZe are in.
Bomb being planted, but Tanir is such low HP. Reset on half. Gonna try and get active with that Tech 9. On a little cheeky corner, has some support with Result. So they can trade each other. Flashbang comes through. Fairly ineffectual, in fact, and Claire's wanting to swing onto it, and there's that setup. Tania's the one that actually gets the kill there. But Lucky's quick on the trade, and Gokushima needed to find the kill, but you're never expecting Cabbi at that angle. That's a great retake from Espionage coming through, and a fantastic round from Lucky.
Yeah, much better from Espionage. Much better on that retake. It's limited utility that they've got to work with, so they play with numbers. The fact you've got a boosted player, whilst the smoke dissipates, but he's not receiving contact, just stays up there. That's much better from Espionage. They're weathering the storm right now, but what I will say is that was just Tech 9s. That was not really all the guns in play. Sure, no AWP on Gokushima, but a full belt of utility and AKs in every single forZe player's hands.
Lucky, nice peek under Celta. He's feeling confident. The left side peek, knowing that there's a potential an AWP could be there. He's feeling empowered. As MistR does take a lot of damage in towards Banana. Gotta be careful moving up there, Shelfie. Lucky is on the angle, but smoked off. Fires his AWP off. Just to put the fear in their bones.
A lot of utility still for forZe at the very least. They've smoked long off and now they're getting close to it. You can see that Quez hasn't actually pushed, so Cabbi tucked in another corner. Might go unchecked. No, instead he's mollied. Has to move, has to rotate. Comes a great deal of life as a sacrifice, but most importantly, he's alive. This is a cool angle.
I don't mind this at all. Although any piece of utility that gets thrown into library, if a molly goes in there or something, it's going to cause issues. That's not going to happen anyway, because forZe are grouping up over towards B. Iceberg drops the smoke. It's just MistR in the side, and he's so low HP. You can see he's ready for the flash. Going to drop that one forward so that they can swing through the smoke. But Gokushima finds MistR, and Iceberg runs out of bullets, and he is run down by Tania. A 3 versus 3 as Shalfie plants the bomb.
I feel like as soon as Gokushima predictably gets this kill, it's got to be called off. Lucky will be holding on to this AWP. So forZe do it. I really like the management there in the rounds because they take primary zones of control that prevent Espionage from finding information. And I feel like what forZe are noticing and what we highlighted a few rounds ago is that Espionage are not being incredibly proactive in the mid to late rounds of this game. They're not walking second middle. They're not pushing sort of short to team mid, especially with the AWP. If Quez just dry walks and finds the players that are tucked up behind that long smoke there, that altercation could have been completely different. Instead, it's a very passive approach for Espionage. They're turtling in, relying a lot on their crossfires, but as a result, they're giving a lot of space over towards forZe, and they're just manipulating it so well.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that is just the mental fact of just being demolished on your map pick and just kind of feeling a hit to your confidence after that. Lucky does look like he's fighting that back pretty quickly. But this B side is becoming an issue for Espionage with the way they're holding it. It's so passive. They always just have a single player kind of committed to the site, and then the other player is generally playing over towards the CT side where you can throw a bit of utility, and we saw last round swung through the smoke, but they're kind of almost desperate measures rather than having this kind of two-player inside the site ready to defend setup and then having a rotation coming at the right time.
Oh, it's a bit tricky for Iceberg.
He's cool.
Yeah, ice cold in the face of danger. Quez now needs to back up. Double long setup means that they can still hold this top middle portion of the map. And forZe now know that, look, Espionage will push quite aggressively in towards Banana, but now they've left and vacated it. Iceberg ready with the molly, and this frees up MistR to go towards A. This is a decent setup right now, but forZe look like they might want to retake Banana here.
Why wouldn't you? He found so much success there. The AWP is known as well.
Okay.
Ooh, running through the flames. Bold. And Celta pays for his life, but that has maybe given an opportunity.
Look at long. Oh, this is perfect. Look, 45 seconds. You can keep applying pressure here. And now you can go quiet. And now the B players can say, hey, look, I've got one kill. I don't need to worry about it. But you're not ready for this backstab. Lucky is not considering this whatsoever. Shalfie even here's another player, Quez, back turned, dealt with. And now you've got to deal with the back lines. And this is going to draw another rotation. forZe are going A.
Yeah, but Cabbi there's 20 seconds left, and Cabbi can just end the round here. Both players are running through. He's hearing it all. Less than go by. He's dropped the bomb. He's won the round. Oh, actually, it's been collected, but it's just no way you can safely plant. Getting run down from every single angle. How does Tania find that? Maybe it's not all done. Lucky's running through with low HP and runs him down. The bomb gets planted, and Lucky, at the very last second, saves Espionage.
That feels like it's too many voices at the same time communicating for forZe, and they changed their game plan right at the last second. And I feel like it's because Quez made that rotate in towards Speedway. Because Shalfie was about to go around the corner, backstab the AWP in Lucky. Instead, he wanted both bites of the cherry. And trying to draw enough chaos meant that the rotation could come through, but it feels like that was really overworked by forZe, and if they stuck to their initial game plan, it would have been a lot more successful.
It's almost unfortunate that the extra rotation came through Speedway, because Lucky would have got caught hands down, and then it would have been 3-on-1 into the side, and it would have been a different round, but it doesn't quite work out. And as we got this pause, Brandon, a little update from the other game between Guild and Ruby. Guild, obviously one of the favorites to take this entire qualifier, I would say. They just lost to Ruby. I think double overtime, 22-20. Wait, is that triple overtime? 22-20.
Wow, okay.
On Vertigo. Ruby.
Right.
That's an upset.
Okay. That is a massive upset. Look, it's still a best of 3. There's still time for Guild Eagles to bounce back, but that is a painful loss to suffer. Espionage, they suffered a painful one as well. Yeah, again, we're running through mollies here, forZe, and it's working. A MAC-10 solo, the only SMG in the arsenal for forZe, and it runs through a molly and gets a kill. It's done more than you could ask for.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. I don't know how he gets away with it, but it works. You're very happy. You're forZe that opener, and they're continuing the scale. But the Orb's here, and he's spotted one. The swing, the trade is perfect. And where's the support? Oh, it's Cabbi baiting for 2, and it's worth it. Gokushima gets the kill back, but he now has a 1-on-2, and Iceberg's rotation is so quick. And in about 15 seconds, that round is wrapped.
Cabbi is being such a menace right now, playing in every single little corner that you don't expect him to be in. Won the round single-handedly in the previous by just denying the bomb and denying even more time. And even here in this one, Lucky plays his entire life, and Cabbi goes, okay, I'm just going to wait patiently. All of the timeouts now being called for forZe. All of them being used. If this game runs incredibly lengthy, they haven't got an opportunity to speak to their coach unless Espionage call a pause of their own, or unless they go to overtime and they get a bonus one. But we are nowhere near that stretch of Inferno yet. 6 rounds plays 4. Difficult buy to navigate yourself towards, but it looks like they're going to invest.
Well, if they win this one, there's a chance they could end at 6-6, which I think would feel very good. I always feel like 4 doesn't feel too bad on the T side of Inferno.
No, it doesn't.
But you did highlight how strong their T side is, so you do hope for a little bit more.
They're playing their T side incredibly differently to how I've seen them play in the past. Normally, it was just Tania and Shalfie, for all intents and purposes, just running at the defense and just finding these opening kills, playing incredibly aggressive, very in-your-face Counter-Strike, which has been occurring towards the top of Banana. MistR survives just about in the corner. Fantastic nade as well. This time, surely the defense is going to come up trumps here in Banana for Espionage.
Yeah, this spam is... You just knew someone was going to fall then. So many bodies in those smokes. So much damage done by the utility. They took a full barrage. They're limping. Celtic's just going to be a bit of a distraction over on A to keep some players occupied with the low HP. I think we've missed this position here. This should be a very strong hold on B. They're not throwing that meta smoke that blocks it off. Going instead to maybe just go for a contact play here. If iceberg goes down though, there is a pathway through, but another smoke. Beautifully thrown as the lurk one comes in. And a rotation now from Lucky comes over.
I like this as well. You've just got Iceberg close. Lucky's ready to rotate, but because he hasn't fully committed, that means they're going to back off. Here we go, and you're right. They can still see above the smoke. Flashbang, not good enough. Boost will be dealt with. There's still a player at the back of the bomb site. Also traded out. 3 versus 2. Still a way in here for forZe as they stick the digits in.
Utility lacking for Espionage in the retake, so they can't smoke off Banana, which means Gokushima's position, if he decides to go that way, will be quite strong. But instead, because they've got this player disadvantage, they want to be a bit more active. Waiting for a boost, but not coming on through. That smoke has done wonders in delaying this retake. Obviously, Kit's not an issue. Chaffee's position could be a concern. The swing comes out. He loses that fight. And Gokushima, 1 versus 3, and it's going to be incredibly tricky. The trade is immediate. The defuse will come through.
I like that a lot as well from Espionage, because they're being very vocal over towards the church and coffins, and they're waiting for a response from forZe. They get it with the peak around the right-hand side of quad, and that means that Cabbi can just swing and take the fight completely on the forZe player in the open. Gokushima can't really trade because he gives up his position that he's worked so hard for, and he thinks, I've got them in the palm of my hands. They're not going to check this. I know exactly where they are. I've got all the information. But the entire ideal was to bait one into the open, and that's exactly what happens. 7-4 defense, this time looking incredibly strong here for Espionage. Fast smoke being deployed, but it's MistR getting the fast kill on towards Tanir, and he keeps on going here.
Yeah, they're starting to feel very confident. I feel like this fight over towards Banana has really flipped in the past 3 or 4 rounds. Lucky might get a chance here. Nice timing shot as the flashbang came through. Cabbi, ooh, felt like he had that one dead to rights, but it's pretty tricky to hit these running players in CS2. Salsa with the 180 headshot. Gives forZe another chance into this round. No, it is the 3-on-4. And A has not been something that they've been interested in more often than not. It's been very B focused.
Here we go. Double push. This is better. You're gaining information here. The bomb's walking up Banana completely solo. Celta finds Lucky. However, there is an immediate trade. And Iceberg does deal the damage on towards Celta. So now you've just got Gokushima completely alone. He has scaled up Banana quite a lot, and MistR is low. We'll peek for info, but it's only just a headshot angle. 8 rounds plays 4. Espionage, they bounce back here on Inferno.
Don't give up on us, don't give up on us, don't give up on us. Don't give up on us, don't give up on us, don't give up on us. Hold me down, never let me go. Take me in, I want you to show. Hold me down, never let me go. Take
Espionage bounce back after getting absolutely wiped on their map pick of Nuke. They're looking a lot more dominant here on Inferno with an 8-4 lead. Going into the T side.
Yeah, but we did say, look, 4 isn't too bad on T side Inferno. We'll have to see whether that rings true or whether Ancient is waiting in the wings. A good pistol round away, and Espionage could be there, and it's definitely not the manner I really expected the series to go in. Very proactive play from forZe, taking a piece out of Espionage's book, peeking towards top middle. Shelfie gets contact, but no damage. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
There's the damage.
That's very damaging. Good lord. Well, Espionage, you're not really gained too much in this early stage. And Result not seeing anything in towards middle. He's just holding the slither gap to see if anyone crosses. It's going to allow another rotation. They're going to have a perfect stack in play on B.
Yeah, Shelfie again being that player that keeps rotating. Celta dropping the utility as well. They're going to have to run through this Espionage, and they're giving it a go. Jewel Beretta's up close. Again, Shelfie through the smoke. It's Celta, though, that's picking up the kills. 2 immediately. Player advantage still with forZe, and now they're trapping Espionage in. But Cabbi gets a freebie. Gokushima peeks on his own.
Yeah, kind of gives up his life there when he could have been a pretty effective bait for one of his teammates. So now it's a 2-on-2, and it's a great setup from Espionage. Cabbi, so strong in the pistol round so far, gets another kill. And Result, domed by MistR. Espionage bounce back despite losing the early man advantage and despite the stack from forZe.
Yeah, that wasn't a good retake attempt at all from forZe. Going to be critical of them because Gokushima's pushing when your player is nowhere near, only halfway up banana. You could have really pinched that in. You could have isolated the fight on towards Cabbi. You understand that a player's probably going to be playing new box and dark. You can just wait there. You've got so much time to play with. Instead, they rush it.
forZe are going to force. Oh, this is a big grouping in towards top mid, and it's just a firing line getting eaten alive. Celta barely scrapes away. A bold choice to just peek mid with almost your entire arsenal. Doesn't quite pan out for them.
Tanir's dropped a smoke CT, but he's playing ahead of it, so hiding towards sandbags. There is a molly that could be used, but Cabbi's all the way in top mid. And it's just going to be a gamble stack. Iceberg will clear this, so Tanir... Oh, no, he didn't clear it. Good find. And now he clears banana, so now the rotates can come back for forZe, but it might be a little bit too late. They're going to have to play this retake 3-on-3.
Yeah, Espionage can just pounce on this. Not 100% confident no one's here, but their util is all down. There's just no way through, and you're saving these weapons. Surely you're saving them. Get another chance into the next round, but Espionage. It looked like they want to push us to a third map. Reminder, that one is Ancient as the decider.
It's going to be a fun one as well if we get there. Both these teams pretty competent on Ancient, more than happy to pick into it when necessary. The win rates actually haven't been too good for either team recently. So it'll be a very interesting battleground for our final map to decide where we end up. Obviously, don't want to write forZe off this just yet, but with the saved weaponry, obviously they forced this one. They're going to be eco regardless. They're not investing a penny into this. So you can assume that potentially Espionage will get themselves up to 11 fairly comfortably. And then you're always playing on the back foot here on this CT side.
Yeah, forZe this round. You can... Well, it's not going to be much to fight with. So they're likely going to be playing with their rifles in the next with 7 rounds between the two teams. Unless something magic can happen. A couple of 5.7s, some SMGs. Gokushima's scout. And Gokushima was a bit of a menace with the AWP on Nuke. See if we can do much here with the lesser weaponry.
Ooh. Flashbang does catch MistR, so that's information for Tania at the very least. But meanwhile, I'm looking at apartments. They've got all of this space here, Espionage. Fantastic nade as well. On towards this scout player. So it looks like forZe are just going to fight this. They're going to take the aggressiveness in towards Banana. But at the same time, Espionage, they're coming out of the apartments. They're trying to fight middle.
It's going to be a pretty unfair fight for forZe. Sharp is close. Peeking around the corner, but looks like Espionage. The AK. Oh, okay, there is a 1-to-1. Resol brought down low. Gokushima rotates over, but both these players on A currently have barely any health between them. But Gokushima hits a headshot with the scout. That's onto the short player. But down the smoke gives space to work through, and he gets domed as well. Gokushima comes alive with the scout. But the kills come back for the T side. Tania with the Mac 10 on the flank up through middle. He's the one that has to do most of the heavy lifting.
How'd you do this, though? There's no utility. And he's just stepped. Lucky should convey that information over. Good angle being taken by MistR. This feels unbreakable. As long as they don't peek, they've got it. There's no kit as well. Time dwindling now. MistR spamming to near. He's so incredibly low. With a kill on the bomb site, that's been found as well. They now know he's in pit, but the time it's just not there. Tania will bait it. Tania will try and force the kill. It will come his way. But the round, it still belongs to Espionage. However, what an incredible attempt, considering what, that was a 3 versus 5. Gokushima hits 2 headshots on low HP.
Yeah, and great kills from Tania as well, just into the side. It's just a real shame they didn't have the time to work with. I think they picked up that smoke on the way, and it gave them a bit of a pathway through. The spam was great for MistR. But regardless of that round, it's 11 for Espionage. forZe have their backs against the wall. But at least they have the buy to do it with. Finally, all the rifles and the AWP for Gokushima uncontested.
Won't be him peeking middle. Might be Result instead. Smoke dribbled down to prevent mollies. So instead they go about halfway down Banana instead. Tania's been very keen to get aggressive, but this time it's going to punish him. MistR will deal with him. And gets a lot of nades as well. That's really nice work.
Beautiful open up. It looks like they want to put a bit more pressure over towards A. This AWP is here. Gokushima in towards short. A smoke comes through just to give him a bit of safety. He's going to be the one that has to lead on the fight here and gets that first kill. Nice flick up onto the head of Lucky. Trying to press through, trying to force him off the angle, and he's now alone on the side, the only defender on A. 3 Ts towards top mid, but they found that kill and they're backing off. They know where the AWP is, and they want to now press over towards B, but Gokushima knows he has to get the information. Oh, actually, look at this. Back in towards apartments, Gokushima seems to have a read on it. But they're swarming around him. Enemies from all sides, and he's spotted one, but can't hit the quick shot. And Espionage can pounce on A.
Yeah, interesting reset out of Espionage. The fact that they actually just completely concede the grounds, they leave long, they leave middle, and they just reset for apartments. It works perfectly. Normally when you're alone on A and you take the space back, you normally end up and find yourself in Boiler. Fortunately enough, Quez was a 3rd player there and he was holding, so things can get a little bit complicated. But I really like that mid-round decision-making. The fact that everyone is committing to it as well. Everyone is on the same page for Espionage. They understand, look, we found these kills pretty convincingly. We did it together as a unit. We're going to end as a unit as well. There's no opportunity for Gokushima to pick players off.
Yeah, that round rested on whether Gokushima could just pull off something heroic. No help after his teammate falls. Espionage in cruise control for Ancient. Which really begs the question of what went wrong on Nuke. You're just coming in a little bit cold. fired up now.
Yeah, maybe you're just a little bit blindsided perhaps about the amount of variation that was being thrown in on the CT side. Obviously, forZe would have looked back at the demo, would have learned from it. When you played a recent map against each other, you can quite easily kind of counter what your opposition is looking to do. Oh, and Xiaofi's just full blind. Celta will at least trade one back with Banana. It's been completely given over. Tanir, the only player remaining here on this bomb site. But there's good ground being taken in second mid, which means the rotations have already come over.
It felt like a desperate peek, didn't it? Not even the Furious spoke to support, so no one way there, and gets blinded by a single flashbang and it's all over. But you're right, the rotations come through and Espionage just want to hit onto B. I think particularly with this kill coming through second mid, they just don't feel comfortable going back to A and having to reclaim that control, so they're just going to try a straight up B hit. And this defense from forZe looks a lot stronger than Espionage's did in that first half. They've got 2 players on the site, plus Gokushima, who can support. He's got a flashbang he can throw over. They have everything they need to get in position to set up the util. Smokes over the top. Molotovs for the back of sight. Espionage look ready to go, and Celta, he's feeling the pressure. Caught between 2 sets of flames, and he's able to find a kill before he's dealt with. Tanir swings through for another, and they're holding strong. Smoke lands in front, and it's given a bit of space for Gokushima to work with. Cabbi spots the player out towards new box, and he wants to walk through. Lucky catches Gokushima. There's a flank coming on through. Lucky's found another, but Tanir is still in the sight, and the bomb is running to A.
No way that happens. That's fantastic from Espionage. The fact that you know that forZe like to get aggressive, they like to make these moves. Cabbi will get the bomb down in time as well, and Tanir's just pinned in. Has to cross Lucky, has to go into the AWP, a missed shot. But he's still wasting time. It doesn't matter that he's missed him because he's round the corner now. Tanir can't catch him. It's a game of cat and mouse, and one that Lucky is set to win. He's now in towards the apartments. He can root with his teammate. He's wasted so much time from Tanir.
Yeah, no kit either, so this time that's been wasted is everything. His chances are so low of winning this. Needed that instant flick, needs to find these kills in a couple of seconds and can't get it done. Cabbi with a great performance gives Inferno over to Espionage, a fantastic bounce back after getting trounced on the opening map.
Yeah, I just didn't expect both these maps to be so dominant for the other team. It was a blowout on Nuke, and quite similarly, forZe just got one.